Natural heritage is the great biodiversity of ecosystem and species on our planet. As well as having its own interesting value, natural heritage is of immense importance for tourism, which can both support and threaten its continuations and development. Many forms of tourism heavily depend on the intact nature being able to supply ecosystem resources, holding a great value for leisures and recreations and providing the base and backdrop for many tourism activities. Today, we will visit the 3 natural heritage sites here in the Philippines, specifically in Manila, that made great contributions to the country 100 years ago. First is the Pasig River, a body of water in the Philippines that connects Laguna de Bay and Manila Bay. In the Philippines, the Pasig River holds much significance to our history. It is along the banks of the river that early kingdom of Namayan, Manila, and Tondo were established. In fact, the term Tagalog, which is used to refer to the natives on the islands of Luzon, comes from the term Tagailog, meaning of the river, referring of course to the swift and mighty waters of the Pasig. How did Tagalog civilization started? The Pasig River mirrors to our country rich and noble history and play a pivotal role in many of historic events that shape our people and nation. Like many great civilizations, which started by the rivers such as Egypt on the Nile, Mesopotamia and along the Tigris and Euphrates, China by the Yellow River, among many others. The Pasig River also follows this riverine tradition and is considered to have governed birth to the earliest civilizations of Manila. Over the centuries, the Pasig River and its tributaries proved to the most important means of transport and became the lifeline of the city as well as the center of economic activity, development, cultural, and religious exchange. Pasig River made Manila famous worldwide and is connected to the Western world via the Manila-Acapulco galleon train, which lasted from 250 years, 1565 to 1850. Pasig was the main waterway in which our ancestors used to travel to Manila and its neighboring provinces. People in Laguna and the nearby provinces used the river to transfer goods to the capital. Residents used it to wash their clothes and was even used as swimming pool by the people because of its cool waters that provide a much needed relief from the sweltering heat of the sun. Due to industrialization post-World War II, the river suffered deteriorations. On the surface, it was polluted. The river was soon considered biologically dead and its significance to the way of life in Manila died with it.
There have been considerable efforts to breathe life back into the Pasig River. Throughout the years, several measures from different government agencies and NGOs have been carried out with the main objective of rehabilitating it back to its pristine state. Here are some efforts created to revive the Ilog Pasig. The efforts to revive the river began in December 1989 with the assistance of Danish authorities. The Pasig River Restoration Program was established under the coordination of the Danish International Development Assistance of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources as the central agency. The Pasig River Rehabilitation Commission or PRRC was established to oversee rehabilitation efforts for the river. Supporting the PRRC are private sector organizations, example, Clean and Green Foundation Incorporation that implemented the Piso para sa Pasig campaign. While in 1999, a presidential mandate established the PRRC with a clear goal of restoring the Pasig River to Class C level that which could sustain life by 2014. With more extensive powers and functions, the PRRC began its mission of transforming the Pasig River and its environs into a showcase of a new quality of urban life. In February 2009, the Kapig-Bisig sa Ilog Pasig program was launched by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources through PRRC and ABS-CBN Foundation. The partnership's goal is to turn the Pasig into a clean river zone in 7 years by ensuring zero toxic input into the river through solid waste management, household or community septic tanks dislodging, and septage treatment. For the next program is Environmental Enforcement Monitoring and Cleanup Operations. The PRCMO, through its Environmental Enforcement Division, deploys environmental aids known as river warriors and river patrols to maintain the Pasig River system free from solid waste and other floating debris through regular and special cleanup operations. The river warriors are deployed in minor tributaries of the Pasig River system such as esteros and creeks to ensure that established linear parks and waterways are free from obstruction and solid waste, and in other priority areas like Baseco and Parola. According to the PRRC, on April 20, 2021, San Miguel Public Corporation announced that it will begin cleaning the river in May 2021. SMC will also work with DNR and DPWH on this river cleanup. The river cleanup is part of the San Miguel's 95 billion Pasig River Highway project. And on the other hand, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. recently formed the Interagency Council for the Pasig River Urban Development as part of the government's response to the urgent need to rehabilitate and beautify the Pasig River. Executive number 35, signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, created the Interagency Council will be responsible for ensuring the full rehabilitation of the riverbanks along the Pasig River water system and neighboring water systems. By recognizing its historical significance, improving water quality, and implementing sustainable practices along its banks, we can honor the cultural heritage and ecological importance of this magnificent waterway. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the Pasig River is being reborn, its water once again teeming with vitality and promise.
Another natural heritage that is located along the Pasig River and considered the last lung of Manila and home to different bird species, plants, and trees is the Arroceros Forest Park.
Arroceros Forest Park is a riverside urban forest located in the heart of Manila, specifically at Antonio Villegas Street, former Calle Arroceros in Ermita. It was developed in 1993. The 2.2-hectare park sits on the south bank of the Pasig River at the foot of Quezon Bridge and consists of secondary growth forests with 61 different tree varieties and 8,000 ornamental plants, providing a habitat for 10 different bird species. It also serves as a temporary resting place for people who want to avoid the scorching heat of the sun, thus being called the last lung of Metro Manila. On February 27, 2020, Mayor Isko Moreno signed City Ordinance Number 8607 or the Arroceros Forest Park Ordinance, designating the Arroceros Forest Park as permanent forest park instead of as ordinary city property. Under this ordinance, cutting of trees, dumping of waste, and excavation is prohibited within the area. Alongside the ordinance, the mayor also revealed plans to allocate 1 million pesos for the park's operations to appoint peace officers to help in taking care of the park and to expand the forest park as the highlight of a future green city in the Logan area. The park has tiled pathways and concrete roads giving access to areas around the park. It also contains a fish pond and bridge as well as riverside walk. The park is a habitat of different bird species such as pied fantail, zebra dove, long-tailed shrike, Pacific swallow, yellow-vented bulbul, and brown shrike. There are ways to maintain the beauty of Arroceros, which are trimming, cleaning, transplanting, watering of plants, and hauling garbage, landscaping plants in center islands and plazas in Manila. Everyone is encouraged to be responsible and preserve nature for the next generation. Some gardeners in Arroceros Park doesn't have their training, but there are also a few of them who have their training. According to ISCO's 7-item plan, they plan to add trees to Arroceros to maintain its greenery pasture. Members of the Save Arroceros movement who raised the issues with the redevelopment late last year were also present during the unveiling. The group, which advocates for the preservation of the park, says they are thankful that the local government of Manila City acknowledged their role in the establishment and preservation of the Arroceros Forest Park and collaborated with them through the Manila Department of Engineering and Public Works in the park's development.
Like what I said in the first part of this video, the Pasig River connects the Manila Bay. So guys, you have an idea of what is the next natural heritage we are going to visit. Yes, it's Manila Bay, a very important natural harbor in Metro Manila that serves as a center of trade. But today we will focus on the project that was conceptualized budgeted and approved by the Department of Budget and Management in 2019 and have a Memorandum of Agreement with the Department of Public Works and Highway or DPWH. The project is called Manila Bay Dolomite Beach.
Manila Bay or the Dolomite Beach. Rehabilitating the Pasig River should be a major priority aside from the fact that it connects Laguna de Bay to Manila Bay. But the pollution in the Pasig River will eventually flow through Manila Bay. According to the source, at least 60% of organic matter that ends up Manila Bay that flows from the Pasig River. According to the DNR, the Manila Bay Rehabilitation Program has 3 phases. The first one is clean up water quality improvement, rehabilitation and resettlement, and last is education and sustainment. DNR is one of the Supreme Court mandamus agency that was ordered to implement the operational plan for the Manila Bay Coastal Strategy or the OPMBCS 2017 to 2022. The OPMBCS pushes for the clean-up, rehabilitation, and preservation of Manila Bay to restore and maintain its water as a Class SP. For example, is the recreational and fishery waters. For Mini, this is a man-made white sand beach in the middle of the city, a first in the history seen by many, including the local government of Manila where it is situated, to boost local and international tourism and generate jobs for residents. The DNR said that the beach nourishment project is more than just aesthetic. It is a strategy to promote environment behavior among Filipinos with the hope that the white sand would be inspire people to be more mindful of their obligation to help keep the Manila Bay clean. And for the positive impact, the Dolomite sand actually cleans the water of the Manila Bay, prevents erosion, and increases the width of the beach. However, the Dolomite powder can help to improve soil fertility by providing a source of magnesium and calcium, which are essential plant nutrients. Additionally, it can help to enhance soil structure, improve water retention, and increase nutrient availability, all of which can contribute to improve soil fertility. And for the negative impact, dolomite contains varying level of crystalline silica which can cause damage to lungs or even cancer when it is breathed in. Moreover, the material can also cause irritation to the skin and eyes. The Department of Health also attested to dolomite's health risks, especially the adverse reaction in human when inhaled. The washing of dolomite sand from the beach is akin to dumping foreign sediments, the most common pollutants in any water environment. They can disturb the habitats of marine animals and plants with potential burying them, lowering the oxygen and seawater, and also blocking their access to sunlight.
How to maintain the beauty of Manila Bay Dolomite Beach. Maintaining the beauty of Manila Bay, particularly the Dolomite Beach and its historical value, involves a combination of environmental conservation, sustainable development practices, and community engagement. Here are some strategies. First strategy, environmental protection. It includes erosion control, waste management, and biodiversity conservation. They implement measures to prevent erosion along the Dolomite Beach. This could include the planting of native vegetation, constructing retaining walls. They also establish a comprehensive waste management system to prevent pollution. Regular beach cleanups, recycling programs, and proper waste disposal facilities. And they also want to promote the protection of local flora and fauna. Establish protected areas and educations and community about the importance of preserving the natural ecosystem. For our next strategy, sustainable tourism consists of visitor education, visitor capacity limits, and eco-friendly infrastructure. They conduct awareness campaigns to educate visitors about responsible tourism, implement measures to control the number of visitors at any given time to prevent overuse of the area, and develop infrastructure with minimal environmental impact. Use eco-friendly construction materials and design structures that blend harmoniously with the natural landscape. For the third strategy, historical value preservation. In this step, they want to have heritage conservation, educational programs, and digital preservation when all identify and protect historical sites around Manila Bay. Implement conservation measures to preserve buildings, monuments, and artifacts that hold cultural significance. Develop educational programs and guided tours that highlight the historical historical value of the area. Also, utilize technology to digitally document and preserve historical records, photographs, and artifacts. This ensures that valuable information is safeguarded for future generations.
The next strategy is the community engagement. Local partnerships and community programs that will collaborate with local communities and businesses and empower them to take an active role in preserving the beauty and historical value of Manila Bay, as well as organize community events, workshops, and outreach programs that foster a sense of ownership and pride among residents. And lastly, regular assessment and monitoring. For this last step, they plan to have environmental impact assessment and historical site monitoring to conduct regular assessment of the environmental impact of developments around Manila Bay. Use the findings to adjust management strategies and address any emerging issues promptly. And lastly, implement monitoring system to keep track of the condition of historical sites. Regular inspections can help identify potential threats and ensure timely interventions. By implementing an approach that integrates environmental protection, sustainable tourism, historical value preservation, community engagement, and regular monitoring, Manila Bay's beauty and historical significance can be safeguarded for current and future generations. Nature is the only thing we human beings have it in common, so it becomes our duty to cherish, nurture it, and protect biodiversity and pass on nature's treasure to the next generations. These natural heritage sites are a gift from nature to mankind. These sites provide a good source of employment and are crucial sources of water. However, in today's world, these sites are becoming victims of the consistent urge for economic growth and development.
Culture and heritage shapes human society. We all grow up on stories, mythologies, and historical events glorifying our past, which help us construct our identity. Human race has always relied on its past to build the present and construct its future. Generations have lived before us and have shaped the world we reside in. It is important to protect our natural heritage as it adds character and distinctiveness to the place, regions, or community and hence provide a sense of identity.